So here we are with episode 11 of A Sign of Affection. Last episode, we got to see Oshi's whirl, and we see that his whirl is very immature. But we will just have to see what's going to happen in this episode. The first screenshot that we have is just Kyouya and Rin out on a zoo date, I presume. Good for them. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon in early access and the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. Ooh. My recovery from my ankle sprain. Wow. Oh, such a hunk. Are you two going out already? It's complicated. Oh. Older men tend to not do that. So Yuki asks, like, are you guys dating? And Rin is just like, well, he hasn't really asked, but like, at the same time, Rin, you know, maybe you should wanna... I mean, you could probably continue a little bit more, but eventually you're gonna have to come to a point where, are you going to commit into this relationship? Right? Because if you guys never really say anything about it, it could just end up being a, what is it called? A situationship? Is that what it is? I'm gonna write that down so I can remember. I was thinking about companionship, but that's not it. Is it a situationship? It might be something else, but the whole thing is that it's like a relationship that's not really established. You know, you're like essentially going out with that person, and maybe even like having a little schmecks on the side, but you've never really established that relationship. So it might not be a situationship. It might be something else. I'll search that up. Oh, yeah, y'all just look at the way he's holding the phone. Finally taking this stuff seriously. That big grin, dude. Oh my god. This man goes to class? Oh, I'm surprised. Ooh, her hair. It's all frazzled and everything. Yeah, what are you doing? Oh, he's holding the disc that she gave him? Okay, what has Emma been doing? Alright. Alright, better be this time. Uh-oh. Ooh. Yuki as in snow? Oh. Very nice. The life of our party. Ah, the sun! Good job. Now let's hope that you're able to do well in that job. That's the next nervous step. Who always gestures for me? Huh? Uh-oh! Excuse me, sir. A little fucking rude, don't you think? This man's wearing a mask too. I can't fucking hear what you're saying. I don't know what's... Uh-oh. Oh, here comes Oshi. Too much trouble. Why are you helping me? Off he goes, just walks away. Ooh. Yeah, we're not friends at all. We just went to drink. And I cried in front of him. Yeah, so then I can lay the moves on you. Why? She can deal with it herself, my guy. He's just an overall likable guy. Oh. Damn, just shut her up. Alright, Oshi. Stop! Stop! Mm-hmm. But he's not gonna fucking tell you. Oh, look at him walking with his hands in his pocket. He's become someone I don't know. Why is he being so nice? I'm so used to him being mean to me. Ah, just a tsundere within you. Yeah, the guy I went drinking with. And so he was there and made her feel... What? For a second I was just like, is he recruiting to American football? Maybe he was just looking for a manager or something. How nice you can be. Oh, she sees through your soon. She's just like, that's just how you are. Stop trying to hide it. Oh. Why did she step out blind? Oh. Oh, she's just so like, oh, maybe he's finally gonna confess to me, yeah? My boyfriend? Ooh! Oh. Did we ever get the aunt's name? I can't remember. Oh. Out in the park? Oh, I'm wearing his ripped jeans. Ah, yes, the moon is here. So when you say the moon is pretty, it could also be, I love you. Oh! You're gonna need to sit down for this, or else you're gonna tumble. You're gonna tumble into the ground. Is that a problem? Oh. Oh my god. For a second there. It looked like the moon disappeared. I put an extra load on your line. Oh, he's shook. Shaken. Just pick me. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Ah, yeah, he said, yeah. it was Shin. He's... Oh yeah, and she took that to heart. Oh, there's her little fishies. Okay, they are not beta fish. Looking for more of them. I mean, if they were, they would have died already. Wow. Just that's when you're thinking about him. 10 o'clock? Give me a bit. Damn, he's outside your house. He just came here to say hi. Oh? Damn, dude, you fucking... Ah! Yes? You could be doing stuff here? Currently have no opinion on this episode right now. I mean, Oushi is like... I mean, I just, it's the same thing as what I said last episode, right? I mean, I kind of said it this episode too. Stop, Oushi, stop! No! Well, I guess we will just head back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 11 of a Sign of Affection. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty nice episode. We've got a little bit of update on all the things that's been mentioned before, right? With Yuki and her job, Rin and Kyouya's relationship, Emma and Shin, with Shin finally telling Emma about the truth, and just, you know, getting a little bit more of Itsuomi and Yuki, and Itsuomi telling her, like, hey, we can go out on dates for other things, right? You don't have to try to focus on, like, doing the big thing. We can do all these small minor things while we're focusing on the big goals as well. So overall, just that was a nice episode. But for me, I suppose I just wanted more. Oh yeah, and then there's also Oushi as well, who's like trying to be less prickly, as he says, and Yuki's just over like, whoa, this is so weird, you're not yourself. I will get to that whole thing about Oushi later. But we're gonna head to the two small minor things that I wanted to talk about. The first one being Rin and Kyouya, with Rin showing that she and Kyouya went on a zoo date, and Yuki's just over like, oh, so are you guys dating or something? Rin says, well, he hasn't asked me to be his girlfriend or anything just yet, but you know, it's here and there. And at this point, I started thinking about situationship, which I did look up, and it was what I wanted to talk about. And the whole thing with situationship is that you are in a romantic relationship with someone, but it's not formally established, right? Not that it's like you guys are going out, doing all these romantic stuff together, but you guys haven't really talked about your relationship, like, hey, what are we? Are we boyfriends and girlfriends, right? That talk never really comes up. And so I wonder if that is going to be the case for Rin and Kyouya. But then Itsuomi came in later on, and he says, oh, it seems like Kyouya's finally being serious about his love life. So maybe that's not the case, but it could kind of be right now at the current moment. And like when it comes to situationship, it could be fine for, you know, the first quarter or so, right? The first year or so, maybe it could be okay. But then if this situationship continues for a long time, eventually one of the person in that situationship is going to ask, what are we? And then that's going to be the make or break of this situationship, whether it evolves into an actual established relationship or it breaks and you're not in that whole thing anymore. So I wonder if that is going to be the case between Rin and Kyouya, or they're just gonna be a little bit more on a smooth plane. Who knows, right? Because Kyouya says the last time he dated was with this girl for 6 years. So whether he might have a bit of an issue of commitment or not, who knows? We'll just have to see a little bit more for Rin and Kyouya, albeit I can't remember if the next episode is going to be the last, or if this one goes up to 13 episodes. But I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon. And then for Emma and Shin, well, Shin called Itsuomi and says that I will do it this time, I'm gonna do it, and so he did it, and I'm proud of him. I just wish we got to see a little bit more, but maybe we'll see next episode to see how Emma reacts to this. And I just love how Emma's just like, you know, she's like, okay, the guy has a girl, like, Itsuomi has a girlfriend now. Okay, well, shit, you know, I can't exactly go and hit on him and all that anymore, because that would be very wrong. Even though it's already kind of wrong for her to do it to Itsuomi, and Itsuomi's just like, stay away from me. But she hasn't been doing that lately, and now she's finally been dropped of this news, and Shin just tries to apply some bandages on it by saying, hey, you know, I'm here for you, so like, pick me. Pick me, please, Emma, please. But Emma's like, wait a minute. Alright, we've been friends for a very long time, and like, at some point, I felt like maybe you were into me, but remember what you said? And of course, it was Shin digging his own grave at that time, right? With him saying, oh, I'll never fall in love with Emma. Of course, Emma took that to heart, so she's just like, alright, this guy doesn't like me, and that's totally fine. But here is Shin finally confessing, because he says like, well, you know, I kind of intended to keep my crush from you all the way to my grave. And Emma's just shooketh by this because she's just like, whoa, you've been in love with me this whole fucking time and I've been talking to you about Itsuomi? What the fuck? So we'll just have to see what's gonna happen with them as well. So just a lot of pieces being laid out to us right now. But that's just the two short things. Again, just want to see more Emma and Shin. Oh, there you go. That's her name. Aki. Okay. Heading all over to Yuki. She goes to her interview. She passes the interview and she gets her job. We are also introduced to Aki Watanaka. We didn't see her introduce herself, but we saw a card, her business card, that showcases her name, right? She is Madoka's aunt, and she's a very nice lady, right? She cares a lot about her niece, and she's been wanting to see her niece's friends for a very long time, and as she says, right, I want to give back to her circle of friends. And I think that's very nice of her. This leads us on over to the marketplace, where Yuki is hoping to find the lady who always gestures for her, and, hold on, let me see. She sees her, right? Okay, so I'm gonna line up there, but before she can, this fucking guy just grabs her fucking basket and is just like, oh, I'll ring you up to the next register. It's just like, alright, first of all, dude, don't just fucking take her goddamn basket off of her arm. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Unfortunately for Yuki, this man is wearing a mask. He's being nice, but she can't fucking hear. She can't fucking read his lips, so she's just over here lost. I don't know what you're saying to me. Are you asking if I brought my own bag? Are you asking for my loyalty card? I don't know what the hell's going on. And so here she is having to deal with these issues that she goes through on, I would presume, on a daily basis of her having to go through this whole spiel. But here she is saved by Oushi, who replies back to the guy, and then he translates what the guy was talking about to Yuki. After that, they end up walking the same way home. Because, I mean, I presume he lives close to her. Yuki's just, she's so low shooketh that this man, who is always so fucking prickly with her, right? The first thing that he ever signed to her was, you fool. And here he is, being nice. It was the same thing as when he, apologized to her for calling her at night. And Yuki's just over like, oh, what the fuck is he's apologizing? This is giving me the creeps. Because of the way that he acts, she feels like she doesn't know who this guy is, and later on, she starts to wonder, I've never really know Oushi. Like, this whole time, I never really understood who he is as a person, and perhaps it's a weird feeling in the way that Yuki talks about Oushi, when she's like, oh, when I first went to college for the first time, I was in a sea of strangers who don't know about my disability, and so when she sees Oushi in this wave of strangers, she feels a little safe, knowing that there is somebody who understands her and is able to communicate with her, and that has been helping her a lot, which is something that I would presume she hasn't really said to Oushi. Which, you know what? After what happened in the last episode, doesn't really fucking help. In terms of, I'm just over here like, alright, Yuki. Yeah, stop being so likable to Oushi. Not that she would know, right? Oh, and there's also that one point with Oushi and how he thinks about, like, oh man, even for Yuki going to the supermarket or something, right? That's a lot of trouble for her. So he tells her, hey, the next time you need to come here, just bring me along with you. It's like, that's not the solution to this issue that Yuki is having. If Yuki is having problems just going through, you know, going through like a supermarket or something, like you cannot be there for her 24/7. Even if you were dating her, you cannot be with her 24/7. So like this is just not it, Oushi, right? And it's that feeling of he babies her, and like he just has not come to the understanding that she is an adult now who's able to do her own shit. I mean, look at Yuki. She's got a job now, right? She's working there, and she's well, I mean, it's only a first day, but, you know, she thought she did fine enough, I would presume, that Aki didn't give her any criticism, I would presume. Oh, that reminds me, when it comes to Yuki's job, I wonder if, because Aki says, it's chill on the weekdays, but it can get busy on the weekend. If it's busy and the people working there are moving about, Yuki, who does not hear, is going to have trouble with that, right? Because when you're behind the kitchen, you're holding something hot, and what do you do when someone is, when you're about to walk behind somebody and you're holding something hot? You shout. You say, hey, hot, right? Hot. or you shout, behind. That's usually some of the stuff, right? Behind, hot. And then you would hear that. And it's like, okay, somebody's behind me. They're holding something hot. But Yuki won't be able to hear them. So, she might just end up in a situation where they're in a rush, somebody's holding a drink or something, and she doesn't hear them, so she takes a step back, or she gets in their way by accident because she can't hear them yelling, behind! And then that's gotta cause an issue. We'll just have to see. But going back to the way that Oushi sees Yuki, God, with what he said to Itsuomi last time, right? If you make her cry in any way, I'm gonna fucking go for her full blast. And so he tells her, right? If he ever makes you cry, tell me about it. I hate him, so I'll deal with him for you. And it's just another situation where, no, this is her choice, right? If she wants to deal with him, she can do it herself. And also, what if they accidentally got into a fight or something? She would rather want to deal with him and hopefully try to resolve the fighting issue. But Oshi's just like, no, if he ever makes you cry anyways, just tell me and I'll deal with him for you. And it's again, no. She's not a fucking child. She could do this on her own, and that's okay. I really like it when he said that he hates Itsuomi, and Yuki's just like, nah, bro, that's a fucking lie. You went out and a drink with him, and you're telling me that you hate him? No. I know that everybody who has met Itsuomi, it's hard for anyone to hate Itsuomi. Right? And she's trying to give him all these praises, and he just shuts her off. Right? He grabs her hand, and he says, don't praise him in front of me. Which is just like, well, you can, just not look at her hands. You don't have to fucking shut her mouth. Well, essentially, this is the way of him, shutting her up, right? This is, somebody's just talking, yada, 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 and you just come up and just cover their fucking mouth like that? Bro, chill. We did get to see a small little flashback where Oushi hears the announcement, but then he sees he sees Yuki, who could not hear, so she was lost on what was going on, and Oushi felt bad that he wasn't there for her, or that he couldn't have signed for her. Right? This is where he finally took signing seriously, and he started actually studying it. But after that, and, the whole thing with Yuki talking about how he makes her feel, I was gonna say safe, but, she feels relief knowing that there's someone that she knows at college, right? The whole college talk thing. But then as he walks away, Yuki starts to think about the whole, oh, maybe I feel like I don't really know Oushi after all this time. I don't really know what he wants exactly, right? And it makes me wonder if that's Yuki feeling like she's taken Oushi for granted this whole time. I guess, oh, Oshi's here to help me out. He's a nice guy deep inside. But then I don't actually really know all that much about him. So, I wonder. And then, we've got Itsuomi and all that, but him and Yuki have just been smooth sailing, so whatever is shown here, pretty good. And, they can set up a date before all their big major travels and all that, so good for them. Although I will say, we did get to see that Itsuomi is attending class, so that's a big surprise. Whoa. He actually goes to class, wow. What is he going to class for, actually? I don't even know what Yuki's going to class for either. These small little details when it comes to, college classes and all that, I always have such a big problem when it comes to like writing and then like writing into like a college setting or something, because I always want to like get all the fucking details about what the characters are there for, you know. And it fucking kills me because I I feel like their details, especially when you see all these like stories and like mangas where the characters are going to college, but you don't particularly know what they're studying for unless it's important to the story. And so it kind of makes me think about like, maybe sometimes you just don't need those details, but I can't help but think about these details, and it really fucking annoys me because it makes it really difficult for me to think about a college setting and how a character would fit into that college setting. Because I'm over here thinking about like what classes they have, what degree they have, and then what classes they need to take for that degree. It's very annoying, and I wish I could just like discard all that. It's just like, oh yeah, they're going to college, and then the only times that you really showcase what they're doing is when they're outside of class, kind of like with this, right? And even when they are in class, we don't really know what they're studying or anything. And again, these are all details that you don't really need to know. But I just can't help but think about it. They're just minor details that you don't need to know. And that's just basically it. But I just can't help. I just can't help it. What is Yuki studying in? Has she told us before and I've just forgotten about it? What is Itsuomi studying in? What is Rin studying in? I don't know. What is Oushi going to college for? Well, actually, no, we kind of do know that Oushi wants to become a sign language interpreter, so there's that. Other than that, I don't know. But if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.